A celebrity drugged me. Drugs, man, what a crazy fucking trip they do. I'm about to have sex with this man. I'm way too horny to say no. And he pulls out a knife. This is it. This is it. I'm gonna be turned into a vampire tonight. Hey guys, it's Channon Rose, and in today's video I'm going to be telling a story time about how a celebrity drugged me at a Halloween party. Okay, so this was years ago, and I remember this Halloween very vividly because I remember, well, until I started to drink, but we haven't got there yet. But I remember I dressed as a little Bo Peep, and I was actually blonde at the time. Majority of like my adult life I've been brunette, but I was like platinum blonde. I remember I had extensions in, and I dressed as little Bo Peep in like this super slutty hoe costume that was like super cute still. And I remember I went with one of my girlfriends who also did porn at the time, and she was my roommate. Different roommate from the one that I told you guys about before, like the witch roommate, totally different. Okay, so this celebrity I had a crush on for a really long time, and I ended up meeting him out at a club. So I ended up meeting him because when you live in LA, you end up running into celebrities a lot, especially like being in the entertainment industry. Just because I was in the adult entertainment industry, those people still kind of mix together, just like quietly. It's not like talked about or like seen in the media, but it definitely happens. So I had been talking to this guy, and he was throwing this Halloween party, and he throws like these amazing Halloween parties, like full on, goes all out. And he was like, yeah, you should come, it'll be really fun, like bring some friends, like bring some girlfriends. And I was like, okay. So I'm like so excited. I go get a spray tan, I get my nails done, I get like everything done so I could look like amazing, because I know that there's gonna be like other like celebrities and just like people for these type of Halloween parties, like they go all out. So I wanted to make sure like I was not gonna be like a sore thumb sticking out, like not, you know, looking as good as everybody else. So I get like this super slutty costume, and I remember like driving up, and I was so nervous, and I was like, okay, we need to get drinks as soon as we get there because like I need to like calm my nerves. So we pull up to his house in the hills, and there are a ton of cars. I was like, holy shit, this is like a way bigger party than I thought it was gonna be. And they have like valet people outside his house to like, you know, park your cars or whatever, because it's like one of those windy, hilly like roads up in the hills. It's like hard to park anyways, and there's like no parking. So he had valet, so we pull up to valet, we give the guy our car or whatever, and I'm in like these huge heels, right? I don't know why we do this to ourselves. Like, we dress in these slutty ass costumes, we wear these huge ass heels, and then we get fucking wasted, and it's like hazard zone. Like, we're putting ourselves like in the line of danger, like breaking an ankle. There's so many things that could go wrong, like when you put those things together, but we do it anyways, right? So I remember like trying to walk up this like hill to get to his house in my heels, and I'm like holding on to my friend, and I'm like, oh god, please don't fall, please don't fall. And as I'm like walking up and getting closer, I am like seeing the most amazing costumes, like Halloween costumes you've ever seen in your life. And like, holy shit, it was like, I felt like I was on the set of like some scary movie, and like they were filming a Halloween party. Like, that's how amazing these costumes were. And then I get a little bit closer, and I start to recognize like a lot of people, and I'm like, oh shit, like that's so-and-so, or that's so-and-so. Like, these are like pretty big celebrities that are at this party, and there's like a ton of them. And so then I start just getting a little bit nervous, because to be honest, like I just felt a little bit out of place because I did porn, so I felt like I wasn't like as good as everybody else that was there. You know, I had low self-esteem. So anyway, so I start getting self-conscious, and I'm like, we definitely need to fucking find the alcohol. I'm like, let's hurry up and get in, let's get fucking wasted and be able to enjoy ourselves and have a good time, like just like hang out with everybody. So as I'm like walking up to the house, there's like up lighting like all over the front of the house, and it is like decorated so cool for Halloween. Like, he must have had somebody, like a professional decorator, come in and like do this like really cool Halloween decorations like everywhere. And you walk in, and there's like a live band, and like all of it, there's just so much going on, right? And I'm just like searching for the alcohol. Like, where the fuck is the alcohol? And there's a lot of people there, and it was pretty intimidating, I'm not gonna lie. But there was like this dark Hollywood vibe to like the party. I don't know how to describe it. Like, you kind of have to be there to like feel it or understand it. Oh, I know. It's like, think like American Horror Story, like the hotel season. of like that type of vibe a little bit. Not like people are dead walking around this house, but it almost kind of feels just like that old Hollywood like feel. I don't know, something just like, there was some type of vibe going on in that house, you guys. I don't know how to describe it or explain it, but it was definitely like intimidating, but kind of cool, but kind of creepy. That's like the best way I know how to describe it. So I'm looking at my friend and I'm like, we gotta find the fucking alcohol because I need a drink. And so finally, like, we asked someone, we're like, hey dude, is there like a bar? And they're like, oh yeah, it's in the backyard. So we walk through to the backyard. This house is insane, by the way. I've been to his house before, but like not his house. I've never been to his Halloween party before. So I like walk through to the backyard and there's like this huge pool in the backyard and they have like a bunch of dry ice in it with like all these different colored like Halloween lights like lighting up the pool. So it's like all smoking and like cool and like, oh, it was just so awesome. I wish like I had pictures and video to show you guys, but obviously like I was not filming at this party. And this was like years ago, so there's no reason for me to be filming anyways. But so finally we find the alcohol and I'm like, oh, thank God. So I start like drinking and I'm like, you know, drinking my drink, getting my drink on, getting a little wasty. And I'm just like hanging out, talking to like my friend, and we don't really know anybody at this party. Well, we know them, but not like, they're all like celebrities, majority of them, but we don't like know them to like, you know, start mingling and talk. And it's a little intimidating to like go up to like these celebrities and just be like, hey, what's up? I'm Shannon. Like, I do porn. What's up? How you doing? I felt like very awkward. I didn't feel like I fit in. But again, I was invited and I was told it was going to be fun, so I showed up. So I'm like getting my buzz on and eventually I almost said his name. I see the guy whose party it is. So he comes over and he's like, do you guys need anything? Is there anything I can get you? And I'm like, no, I'm good. Like, thank you or whatever. And he's like, okay, well, let me know if you guys need anything. And then like he hung out with us for a little bit and then he was like, I'm gonna go say hi to some more of the guests or whatever. So I'm like, okay. So I knew that like obviously he had an obligation. He was like hosting a huge Halloween party. So I didn't expect him to like be hanging out with me the whole time. I don't know, it was weird because like as the night started to go on, I was getting drunker and drunker, and keep in mind I liked this guy and I had been like, we'd kind of been like hooking up, but we weren't like dating. So it was like kind of weird. I don't know how to explain it. So yeah, anyways, as the night's going on, we're like walking around the party, whatever. And I see the guy that I have been like hooking up with, like has another girl by the hand and is like walking her downstairs to where his bedroom is. There's one floor down and it goes only to his bedroom and like the laundry room. So I knew that like they were going to his bedroom. There was nowhere else to go. So I was like, oh, hell no. My little drunk ass started getting a little jealous. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, are you kidding? So then, of course, like, I'm like, I need to get more drunk now because now I'm upset, I'm jealous, and like, I like this guy and I'm there watching him like hook up with somebody else. So I'm like, fuck this. So I end up like going and getting more drunk. And then I get really drunk to the point where like, I'm gonna go downstairs in the room and see what's going on down there. Like the dumbest, I would never, ever, ever, ever do that sober, right? But my drunk ass was like, that's my man, I'm gonna go get him. And like, you know, if I found out, like if I saw him like hooking up with another girl, like obviously I probably wouldn't talk to him anymore. Or like we would just be friends. I don't know. I didn't know the whole situation. So regardless, I walked downstairs and I opened the door and you're not gonna believe like what was going on. They were not having sex. They were doing something way fucking weirder than that. So, and let me just say this. And if you're a fucking actor watching this, you're like, I don't mean to offend you guys, but actors are very weird people. I think I've told you guys this before, like, the more famous you are, like, the weirder you are, at least in my opinion, and I'm sure there's reasons for it and whatever, but actors are just kind of weird people. And I don't mean, like, actors that are not that famous. I mean, like, more famous type actors. They're just fucking weird people, okay? So I go down there and I'm like, what in the fuck? And I'm trying to, like, and I'm drunk, right? And I'm like, am I fucking seeing things? Like, what is going on here? So this chick is sitting on the bed. Like, this whole part of her costume is, like, pulled down. There's a cut right here. And dude is licking it. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, am I on drugs? Like, what is happening, right? I don't know what's going on, and I'm thinking like maybe that's part of her costume because it's Halloween. Like, you never know like the weird shit that you see if it's like Halloween or not Halloween. This was not Halloween, you guys. This was like for like real life. There was some weird shit going on down there. When they saw me walk in, they're like, oh, do you need something, or do you need me? Is something wrong? Like, acting as if nothing that they're doing is fucking what's wrong. I was like, no, I'm good. I just wanted to like say hi or like see what you were doing. I don't know what the fuck I said. Hopefully it was something good, because I just walked in on some weird shit and I'm just like, okay, I don't know what the fuck I just walked in on, but like, I'm gonna go back upstairs. Have fun. Like, I'm pretty sure that said something like that. No joke. Like 10 minutes later, I am back upstairs, like drinking some more, and he comes up and he's like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Are you okay? Like, you motherfucking weirdo vampire. Like, I'm pretty sure I just saw you licking some girl's cut downstairs. Like, that's pretty weird. And he was like, oh, he's like, you're so funny. He's like, happy Halloween, like being all mysterious and shit. And I'm like, bitch, like, I'm drunk, but not that drunk for this. And I'm not even joking, you guys. 20-30 minutes after we had that interaction and I was drinking my drink, I started to feel very weird, like I had been drugged. And this is the thing, I don't know if he drugged me. I have a feeling that it was him, because I don't know who else like would have drugged me. I wasn't really talking or hanging out with, you know, anybody else there. And so I have a feeling, like a very strong feeling, that he drugged me. And then the rest of the night, you guys, I was flipping out, like full on tripping out. Like, I don't really remember everything. It's like very fuzzy, but I remember like just seeing the guy whose party it was taking like a bunch of different girls down to his room. And I'm like, this motherfucker is just like full on like hooking up with like random girls throughout the whole night, is what I'm thinking in my head. And then I had like, every time someone walked by, I'd hear like whispering in my ear, like they were whispering in my ear, like, are you thirsty? And like, I don't know, the whole, whatever drugs he gave me or put in my drink made me feel, it almost felt like an acid trip, and I felt like I was in a house full of vampires on Halloween night that were getting away with fucking drinking people's blood, like hot girls' blood. And then like everybody at the party was like in on it, and like they kept walking by and whispering like, am I thirsty? Like they were gonna try to turn me into a vampire at the end of the night. Like, I'm not even joking. It was the creepiest, like scariest Halloween night ever. So it went from like insecure to the best night ever, because I was like drunk and partying with like all these cool celebrities. And then it went to like me being jealous because I saw the dude I was hooking up with like take another girl down to the room. And then I like decided to get brave drunk and go down and find out what's happening. And then it looked like he was being a vampire. Then I come back upstairs and then I get drugged. And now I feel like the whole house is like vampires, and every celebrity that I'm seeing is like in on this, and they're all like a pack of cult vampires drinking people's blood. You guys, I don't even know how to tell you like how scared I was in that situation with all these people, and I felt like so helpless. And eventually like I found my friend and I'm like, they're all vampires, like everyone here, they're all vampires. And she's like, what? And I'm like, they're drinking blood downstairs, like they're licking each other and they're cutting each other and they're licking blood, and it's really fucking creepy and weird. I don't know what's happening. We gotta get out of here. They're gonna try to turn me into a vampire. Like, my poor friend, she was probably like, dude, what the fuck drugs are you on? Where did you get them? They sound fun, like give me some. Like, that's probably what she was thinking. And I'm like, dude, like we have to go. And like I just remember her being like, you're freaking out, like you can't drive home, like we'll get the car and I'll drive us home. And I'm like, that's fine, whatever, I don't care, we gotta get out of here before they turn me into a vampire. And and so as we're like leaving the party, we're having to like walk through all these people like dressed in costume, and whatever drug, I honestly don't know what the fuck drug like he gave me, but like I started feeling like almost like horny, like ecstasy, but I was like tripping balls earlier, so I don't know if it was like he like gave me a mix of like acid and ecstasy. I don't know what the fuck he put in my drink, But all of a sudden, as we're like getting ready to leave the party, we're walking through and I'm like feeling kind of like warm and like fuzzy and like getting horny all of a sudden, which was like the total opposite of what I was feeling earlier. I felt like really scared, like I needed to get out of there. And lo and behold, dude comes up from the bedroom like with another girl, and guess who he wants to take down next? This girl. And he's like, hey, and he comes over to me and he grabs my hand and he like starts kissing me on the neck. And I'm like already feeling like horny now. And I'm like, I'm like, girl, we're not leaving. We're going to stay for a little bit longer. And she's like, okay, whatever. So she goes off and does her own thing and he takes me downstairs to his bedroom. And I'm thinking in my head, like, I'm going to be turned into a vampire tonight. This is it. This is it. I will no longer feel warm-blooded because I'm about to have sex with this man and he is about to turn me into a vampire tonight. Like, my fate has been chosen. I'm way too horny to say no. Like, my horniness was like taking over, like me turning into a vampire. This is like the state of mind I was in, you guys, like when you're on drugs. Drugs, man, what a crazy fucking trip they do. So anyway, he was into some weird shit, let me just tell you, because he ended up like taking my costume down and he pulls out a knife. I'm not joking, by the way. This is like real life. This was not just like me on drugs. This is like was really happening. He pulls out a knife and he cuts me right here. And I'm on drugs, by the way, and I'm like not even worried about it. I'm just like letting him do it because I'm so horny. I just want to have sex with him, so I don't want to argue. And he cuts me like, why are you cutting me right there? Like, why not somewhere else? And he's like, well, this is the one place it will always be hidden. And I was like, what? And he's like, well, yeah. I mean, it'll always be hidden with like a bra strap, a tank top, a t-shirt, whatever you wear. It'll be hidden here. And I was just like, what in the fuck? Like, this shit has been really thought out and planned. Like, how long have you been doing this? Like, you know what I mean? It was just so odd to me. And like, I didn't even care that he was doing it. Like, I was just letting him do it as if it was like a normal thing. Like what I had seen earlier on in the night, like the girl, I don't know if he drugged all these girls. He's just like, these are all the bitches I'm boning. I'm gonna drug all of them throughout the night and then drink their blood. And he just like, he cut me and it wasn't like super deep or anything. It was just like a little cut to where it would start bleeding a little bit. And he just fucking ripped it up. And that's it. Like, and then, you know, one thing led to another. We ended up having sex, which was awesome. I don't know if he had sex with everybody that night. At that point, I didn't even care because I was so like drugged and drunk and just like feeling all kinds of loopy. But yeah, that was basically the night that a celebrity drugged me and convinced me that he was probably a vampire. I swear, like, okay, and I know everyone's gonna be like, you thought your roommate was a witch. Now you thought this guy was a vampire. Let me just say something. Okay, I used to not believe in witches and vampires. I thought that they were like, you know, folklore or whatever. They exist. That's all I'm gonna say. I believe that they exist because I've experienced them in person. Call me crazy, think that I'm like a psycho, crazy, whatever, making shit up. But like, do you think that witches and vampires and werewolves, like, someone just made them up out of nowhere, but they're so consistent in like all these different books and movies and TV shows? Like, no, like, they're real. That's why they exist and why they're in movies, TV shows, and like all these things in books. Like, they exist. I believe. Do you? Anyway, so what happened after that party, I ended up going home. I did not spend the night there. I ended up leaving. My friend ended up driving me home. The next morning I woke up and I was just like, what the fuck happened last night? I looked at my friend like, what the fuck happened last night? And she's like, dude, I don't know, but the party was awesome. We need to go back next year. And I'm like, no fucking way are we going back next year. I never went back to his Halloween party, you guys. I was too scared. Too fucking scared of the vampire shit that was going down there that night. So anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you did down below. I want to know down below, do you believe in witches, vampires, and werewolves? Let me know in the comment section. By the way, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, hit that red button down below. It will let you know when I have more story times like this that come out. Thank you again for watching. I'm sending you all my love and all my positive energy, and I hope to see you in my next video. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a fertility update to let you know how and where I am on my fertility journey.